Welcome to another episode of Strategic Minds Making Money Moves, where we do that strategy in order to bring in that extra green. Welcome so much. We're glad to have you with us today. And I hope that you will join me in welcoming a guest today, Kim Kennedy from Yours Truly event. And she's going to talk all about her business. And we're going to try to help her out today to take this to what? The next level. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
I'm excited.
So I would love for you to tell our audience about your business.
Certainly. I am the owner and lead coordinator for a company called Yours Truly Events, and we are a coordination company. So what that means is that we don't do wedding planning, but we do logistics for the wedding. So we handle from the time that they decide that, so it's for the bride who wants to plan their own wedding, but they need somebody to execute it. And that's where we come in. We come in and execute it, from managing their vendors to having them do walkthroughs for the venue, to putting a very detailed timeline together to help them through the day, so that all of their plans are executed in a way that by the end of the day, people are telling them, hey, this was a great event, but we were behind the scenes making it happen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Helping that bride out on that day of, you know, with all the jitters and everything that goes on.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. So what is it that you are looking for to get guidance today?
Well, I started my business by happenstance, actually. So I had a few friends who asked me to do, well, for my own wedding, I had a coordinator, and there were some things that she didn't do that I would have liked to have done. So after I got married, several friends got married, and they asked me if I would help them out, which I did. So I started doing that. In my corporate job, I also did trade shows. I did the logistics for trade shows, conferences, and that type of thing. So that's always kind of been my thing. Mm-hmm. So the wedding business was, I like the opportunity. It's a great occasion. Everybody's happy. Yes, there's a lot of planning, but everybody is pretty much happy for that event. Mm-hmm. So I did a couple weddings on my own. I was like, I like this. Then a caterer friend of mine asked me to do a couple that were paid. And I was like, okay, I like this even better. And so I started doing it on a regular basis for couples. And then I thought to myself, I'm just doing this by myself. At some point in time, I'm going to need lead coordinators. There are some things that I need to put in place, and I'm just kind of just doing everything manually. And so the end of 2019, I hired someone to help me with my website and do those things, and I wanted to launch the business in 2020. So January 2020 was when I was going to fully launch, and COVID happened. So I wasn't able to really implement what I wanted to do. And then as people started getting married again, I found that I had not put processes in place to hire someone to work alongside me, because I was doing everything myself. Mm-hmm. So my question today is, once you've started a business, how do you go back and start putting together procedures, operating procedures, so that you can continue to work forward and hire other people and not be overwhelmed by that process?
Okay. So, you know, one of the things is that you are an expert at what you do, right?
Yeah.
And we get up and you have to do all that planning and you just do it. You mm-hmm. don't think about it, you just do it. So there's a couple of ways. Now, this may sound crazy, but it all depends upon what works for you.
Okay.
Right? So you could every step write down, this is what I did, this is the process I went through, etc. Now, some people say, but that takes me too long. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to write that down. Okay. So what I want you to do is get your phone and put it right by where you're working. Okay. And do a video library. Okay. And every step of the way, just do a video of every single thing you do, right? So when the client comes in, okay, now I've got this, I'm going to do these 3 things. And then we got to go here, got to do these 3 things. Now today, I'm going to follow up with the vendors, and I'm going to do all of that. Okay. Once you get that video library done, mm-hmm. it's documented. Now, you know, people always used it, the old school days, it was, we all write everything down, we write it down, and then it says ancient as it was the day you wrote it, right? Because something has changed, right? And so you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, you know, I got to go back and change this paper. The beautiful thing about technology is as we begin to record these things and make them happen, you can go back and re-record. If something changes, you can go back and re-record.
Right.
But having this ability, when somebody walks in, you say the first 5 episodes I want you to watch. This is what I need you to be able to do for
Okay.
me. The first 6 episodes or the following 5 episodes or whatever it happens to be, so that you are getting them in tune with what's happening. That's only one piece. This is what I do.
Okay.
Now there's a whole lot of back office stuff that
Yes.
we know happens,
Yes.
right? It's everything from the bookkeeping, it's everything from, getting paperwork together. It's all of those things that have to happen too.
Right.
And when you just jump out there, sometimes you take the short end of the stick.
Yes.
It's like, you know what?
Yes.
I don't have time for all that.
Right.
I'm
I
not
just
gonna
got to
do
get it done.
Right. So when you actually have to go back to recreate, it's really about, okay, if you took a moment and just breathe, what's the ideal workflow I want? What does that look like?
Okay.
I may be doing these things every day and they're easy for me. They're not a problem. I just go and execute them.
Right.
But what is ideal? Begin to get your thoughts together about those ideals and what that looks like.
Okay.
Because eventually, what you truly want to do is to map out that workflow
Right.
for everything that needs to be done. Everything from how you keep your books, everything to when you bill, everything to in terms of your client engagements. Where do you store your paperwork or your information? Is it a file in the cloud? What does it look like, etc.?
Right.
All of these things you need to be able to put into place.
Okay.
Then you can afford to get a virtual assistant that can help you.
Yes. I would love that.
Because a virtual assistant, you can start off in whatever segment you need them to do to assist you.
Okay.
That virtual assistant can start with appointments and then go from appointments to actually talking to clients, follow-ups for you, doing the follow-up information, anything that you need help with. Okay. That will begin to help you to start to move things forward. The other thing I want you to think about is if I were to ask you today, what are the things you procrastinate on that is like, I just don't want to do? What are those things you procrastinate on?
Right.
It's like, this takes me so much time. It's so hard because I really just don't want to do it.
And I have a short list of those things.
Okay. And whatever those things
Yeah.
are, can someone help you with them?
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
And they get enjoyment out of it. For everything we don't like, there's somebody out there that loves it. We need to find people who love it so they can be part of the team.
Right.
Right? In terms of making that happen.
Exactly.
So I think it's really important that that you do that. Now, I did some of the same things. I mean, I got an opportunity. I just worked the opportunity. I wasn't thinking about anything.
Right.
And then one day it was like, okay, if I'm going to grow and do anything, right, I can't continue acting like a solopreneur. I got to think bigger than this.
Right.
And what does bigger look like? Right?
Okay.
And how can I do that? Start small. Don't try to do it all at one time. Start small.
I think that's what's been holding me back is it's been too big when I look at what I need to do, and then I just kind of push it to the side and just keep going forward.
Yeah. So we're going to take a station break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how you break that down so that it's in small bites, so it's something that you can actually excel at and do what you need to do to move forward. We'll be right back. When we think about strategy, think about moving forward, we're always wondering and concerned, are we hitting the right target audience? Are we doing the right things to take our business forward? Don't lose sight of the fact that your talents and your passion brought you here. Those talents and passion can be contagious to those who want to hear it, who want to learn, and who want to know more. It's just important to do what? Tell our story. Tell the story that touches each and every person that you want to contribute and be a customer to your business. Address their issues, address their concerns, take care of them. It's all about making somebody what? Feel good. It's not what we do for them. It's not how we do it. It's how we make them feel. Welcome back. So, Kim, let's talk about, as we said that, we don't want to do everything all at once. And I told you take small chunks.
Right.
So how do I do small chunks? What does that look like? So as you begin to look at your entire workflow from beginning to end, all of your services, everything in that logistics that you do, everything that you're taking care of, what the outcome is going to be and how you follow up. Take the piece one day and say, I'm just going to work on this sliver of what I'm doing.
Okay.
Right? And I'm going to make sure that this is the way that I want it. Right?
Okay.
And I'm going to record just that piece.
Okay.
Okay? In your spare time, watch it.
Okay.
Okay? Now, when you watch it, you're going to be watching it from the perspective of, is this the quality I want to give? Is this really what I want? So that you know whether it's giving you what you want or not. So you're not getting distracted from writing. You're not having these challenges of how to move it forward. You're actually able to view it and do it. And try it for a while.
Okay.
Just try that one piece. And even when you get ready to outsource, I'm only going to outsource one thing on that list that I procrastinate at a time.
That's a good
Just
idea.
one.
Yeah.
Let me do one. And if I feel the value, if I get the time back, if I feel like I'm moving forward, now I believe, okay, now let's go try the second one. How do we do the second one? How do we make the second one work? What does that look like in terms of that second piece that I need to do? And then incrementally do it. Because what you'll find out is you're going to find out where your time is being spent the most, and then you'll be getting that value back of time, and then you'll feel better. It's like I'm not so hung up over all these things that I have to do. I'm not thinking about, how am I going to get this done, and I'm running out of time doing this and doing that. So make sure you do those things too. The other thing that I will tell you is that anytime you're starting a new process, new tools have come out, new development has come out, new ideas have come out, leverage them.
Okay. Sometimes they can be overwhelming, but but I like the idea of the one piece, because then that way the tools, I can just focus on that one area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So just don't forget about how tools can help you to move it forward, what they can do for you, how you can leverage technology to do a lot of the work for you, right? You can leverage technology to do other pieces. You can, not just people.
Okay.
So just remember that, so that it's not overwhelming. It's the small chunks. It's the let's look at those things.
Okay.
So that we can get down to a little bit of specificity. Do you mind sharing one or two of the areas that you just don't like to do?
Social media. That's one area. And I know it's important for what I do so that other brides who are looking for a coordinator want to see your work. I'm not a planner as far as design, so they're not going to see that work. But they do want to see that I'm doing weddings. They want to see my interaction with couples. And because I'm so focused on the day-to-day things, putting the timelines together, managing the vendors, I'm not posting like I should. And I've been a little overwhelmed on, okay, where do I start to even get someone to do that for me who understands what I'm looking for? I don't want just canned stock photos. I want to use the photos that I already have to kind of tell the story of the process that I'm doing. And when I start thinking about that, I'm just like, I don't know where to start.
Okay. So first of all, you talk to other entrepreneurs about who they use.
Okay.
So we should connect after this because I got a great one.
Okay.
But the deal is you connect with other entrepreneurs and find out who they're using, and then you begin to interview them to make sure that they can do what you want to do. That's the first thing. The second thing is so that they can take care of your posts, they can use images. You all can share files. You can share Google Drives and put all your images and things on there, things that you have. When you finish a wedding, don't forget to do your videos of testimonials.
Right.
When the bride says, oh my God, the day was great. Even when a guest says, that was the best event I've ever, that I've been to. This was wonderful. You want all of those snippets because one thing about content when you have it is you can use it, reuse it, use it, and reuse it again.
Okay.
Right? So you want to make this easy. So don't forget to do those things as you're getting them, even when you talk about your social media.
Okay.
The other thing is people make the mistake of thinking that social media is just doing a post. It's a strategy. It is a strategy. You have to have a plan. What am I posting when? Why am I posting then? What am I putting out? What's what are the things that are happening? Is it around a certain holiday? Is it around certain times of the year? Is it seasonal? What does that look like? It is a strategy. And you can tell the difference between people who use somebody who actually thinks about the strategy holistic versus somebody who just says, oh, well, I did something today, let me post it. Oh, I did something today, something posted. The other thing is that you get them on a regular cadence. So if the people know, oh my gosh, she posts 5 days a week. Oh my gosh, she posts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm always seeing great content on these days. And that's how you get your followers and people to really engage with you as you're moving forward.
So I'm setting expectations.
Setting expectations as you're doing it. The other thing is don't forget about getting sponsors from bridal stores, from bridal magazines. Get people who care about what you do, where you're not competing. A bridal store is selling the bridal gown.
Right.
You're going to go in there and say, look, you sell the gowns, you do this, and here's what I can do for the bride.
Okay.
Right? So these are the kinds of things that you can do to make it so that you are growing and you're getting the word out there and others are understanding. But one thing at a time.
One thing at a time.
So 1 month, I'm going to focus on this. The next month, I'm going to focus on that. Now, I will tell you that without your marketing strategy and your brands out there, nobody knows you exist. So we know that's really important,
right,
as we want to do that. So I would suggest that as you're beginning to think about those processes that you need to address first, you really want to be able to have time to gain the audience and gain the customers that are going to be able to see that. It's going to take you time to get your video clips together. It's going to take, so don't try, like I said, as you put this calendar together, put the calendar together that's going to be in a time period that works for you as you're doing it. And then as you begin to develop, you can move forward.
Okay.
But it's also the power of networking. And we'll talk about that when we come back from station break.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. When we think about strategy, think about moving forward, we're always wondering and concerned, are we hitting the right target audience? Are we doing the right things to take our business forward? Don't lose sight of the fact that your talents and your passion brought you here. Those talents and passion can be contagious to those who want to hear it, who want to learn, and who want to know more. It's just important to do what? Tell our story. Tell the story that touches each and every person that you want to contribute and be a customer to your business. Address their issues, address their concerns, take care of them. It's all about making somebody what? Feel good. It's not what we do for them. It's not how we do it. It's how we make them feel. So welcome back. As we were talking before, and I can feel the anxiety and the stress of being overwhelmed and making those things happen. We talked about taking small chunks, putting it to a timeline in terms of moving forward, and we also talked about the impact of getting your strategy together and where you want to advertise and what audience you want to go to, looking at sponsors and magazines and bridal stores. But there's nothing that replaces that face-to-face interaction.
Exactly.
And networking is extremely important. And if you want your face to be the face of your brand, it means that you have to build that networking component into your schedule.
I agree.
in terms of where you want to be. Understanding, whatever's happening where other brides are going to be in places that you can help, or bridal stores and that kind of thing. So don't forget to add that into the mix too. And as you're thinking about all these things, it's like, okay, there's 100 of them. Take 2. I'm going to look on 2.
Okay.
I'm not doing any more than 2. Let me start here. Okay, I got this perfected. Now let me go to the next one. Let me get this one outsourced. Let me get this one, and begin to do it. Because as business is picking up after the pandemic,
Yes.
things are moving quickly.
Very quickly.
Right? People are getting vaccinated. People are happy to have a wedding now. Oh my God, I'm going to go get married.
Right.
I can invite everybody.
Right.
I don't have to, feel like I got to put things off anymore. I can actually enjoy my most precious day, of getting married. You don't want to miss these opportunities. So while you're working on your procedures, don't hesitate to partner with other people who are actually doing the services.
Okay.
While you're building yours, because you can still make money.
Right.
You can still make money while you're doing it, while you're trying to get yourself together and put those pieces together, until you have gone through all of the tools, all of the outsourcing, all of the strategy, all the development, and the things that you want to, in terms of what you need for your operating procedures.
Okay. Awesome.
So partnering with others while you're doing that can definitely be a way to get your name out there. And you sell it to any other entrepreneur. You do this piece, this is what I can do for you. So don't forget, going to entrepreneurs and network can be powerful too.
Right.
That's the benefit of being in entrepreneur networks. That's the benefit of being part of groups and things like that. So people can help you, as you move forward.
Making the time to do that.
Right, exactly. And then you can get support while you're trying to build all of this.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I feel a lot better. I feel like I have just in my mind a plan that won't overwhelm me, because I'm trying to fit it in a timeline, like I do my weddings. But so this was great. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. And we're so time driven, right? And it's like, my weddings have to be this way. I have to be this. I have to do this. I have to do that. And what you really want to make sure of is that, yes, my weddings are timed and this is timed, but it doesn't have to be done in the same month.
Right.
Right. These things are things that I need to do and I need to plan, but I need to hold myself accountable to doing them. So making that appointment on your calendar.
Right.
These days at this time, this is what I'm going to do and how I'm going to make them happen.
Okay. Awesome.
Let's see if we have a question from our audience.
Hi, my name is Nanaba Ishan, and I love your business and love the concept. I was wondering, are you currently making a presence in expos, bridal expos, and conferences?
Currently, that's something that I've been thinking about. And of course, with the pandemic, a lot of those expos last year were canceled. So I've done some local ones this year, and it's been really refreshing to get in front of brides and other vendors to see that they're actually interested in the upcoming, all of the weddings that are upcoming. I do see value in the bridal expos, and I'm looking forward to putting some type of strategy together to participate a couple times a year to really get my name out there, to get my brand out there, so that when brides are looking for what I have, which is coordination or logistics, they'll know that Yours Truly Events is the place to come to.
Awesome. As I think about other types of partners, we always talk about bridal stores and we talk about magazines, but don't forget those jewelry stores.
That's true.
Where they go to get that engagement ring.
Right.
You're starting your engagement and providing a packet to be able to say, you starting your engagement, I can help you from this point forward. I can relieve your stress, that kind of thing. So there's so many places at the beginning of that process that you can leverage to use over and over again in terms of making those things happen. Don't forget about churches. People go to the church to get married, and as they're going to get married and they're talking to ministers, that can be a powerful place. So you begin to sit and just think, where are people going? And then leverage those to help you, as you're doing it.
Okay.
And building your people to help you.
Yes.
right?
That's the goal.
So as you take the time to do these one or two things, I'm going to bring on one person and I'm going to let them help me to coordinate two of the weddings that I have. Right.
Okay.
I want to train them. I want to make sure they're in place. I'm going to let them walk side by side with me.
Okay.
Right. And there are a number of women that are in cosmetology school and that are in event planning that want to get their feet wet. Allow them an opportunity to do that with you side by side. Learn what that behind the scenes means and an opportunity where you're not having to do it all, but this is the piece of the process that is your niche that we're going to specialize on in terms of moving forward.
Okay.
So I hope you all have gotten something out of this. I know I have enjoyed this concept and I know where to go when I'm thinking about passing on the word for others in terms of getting married and getting that help and reducing that stress. Will you all join me in thanking my guests today?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Strategic Minds Making Money Moves, where we do those things to get that green. As you know, we want to help every entrepreneur and small business out there to be nothing but successful. Make many, 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 many years of money over money over money. All that green, let it rain. Look forward to seeing you next time.